It's here for Pop Turnus, me too, Darby Camp about the Slumber Party, which is going to be premiering July 27th on the Disney Channel, and then the next day on Disney+. Welcome back to the show. It's so good to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited.
I can't even imagine reading the script for this, because your character does so many out of control things in this movie. Did you get the script like all at once or in parts? Like, what was that like, kind of just seeing all the things that you have to do in this movie?
During the audition process, they sent me the script, and I remember just laying in my bed reading it. I read it all in the span of an hour, and I was so excited. It was so chaotic, and I was laughing out loud the whole time. And my dad was like, "What is she doing in there? Why does she keep laughing?" There's just so many moments in this film that is just so adventurous and just so much fun.
And it's so much fun in terms of, you know, just kind of what happens. You see it in the trailer and everything. You know, the slumber party basically doesn't go the way you all want, and then it's trying to figure out what's happening. How much do you know, like, before officially kind of signing on to the project, whether it's an audition, whether you're given the script? Like, do you know a lot about the project, or do you know not as much?
You know, basically, you don't always get the script before you book it. So, sometimes they'll send you the script when you're auditioning. But once I read the script, I was just trying to imagine in my head how we're going to film all this. And I was just already, getting super excited. And it made me, the audition, I think, even better, just knowing everything about the show. And so after I found out that I got it, I was so excited just to see how the process of filming goes and who's gonna play my buddies in it. And we all connected and just had so much fun filming, and I hope that people have just as much fun as we did filming watching it.
I feel like everyone's gonna ask what because it's in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler, but your character wakes up and doesn't one of her eyebrows is shaved off. I feel like the big question is, you didn't have to have your eyebrow shaved off, right? Like, that was all prosthetics. I feel like people online are probably gonna be like, what was that all like? Because that looked really real, to be honest with you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad it looked real, because there was a lot of talk on set, so it didn't really get back to me in time. They were like, "So are we gonna have her shave her eyebrow? We probably are, right?" And then some other people were like, "I don't think this teenage girl is gonna want to shave her eyebrow."
I was about to say too. I'm like, I hope not.
Yeah, so luckily I did not shave my eyebrow. It was all just makeup, thank goodness.
Obviously, you look at, the Christmas Chronicles, Slumber Party, Big Little Lies. I mean, it's all different kind of scenarios and everything, but is it all storytelling to Darby Camp at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, yes. I love filmmaking. It's one of my, obviously, one of my favorite things in the world. Mm-hmm. And I love doing all types of different genres, because I get to show different types of storytelling and different characters that I get to bring to life. So I'm super excited for people to see me in this, because I haven't really done a lot of comedy.
Yes.
And so I'm excited for people to kind of see the humorous side of me.
And you did such an amazing job in this movie, I do have to say. And it's tough, because I don't want to go, I'm a big fan, Darby, going in fresh, right? We talked a little bit about some of the lines. There's a lot of good one-liners in this movie. There really are.
Yeah, there is. I'm very proud of them. I'm excited for people to hear them.
What was it like officially, because I know the first couple of days is always kind of getting your groove and everything with everyone, but when you kind of start getting into the thick of things, where you're really filming the movie, you mentioned, everyone connected on set, but what was that like? Because it's was it did it feel fast paced because of kind of what the subject matter is and everything that happens? What was the vibes like when you officially really got in the thick of it?
Yeah, it was definitely fast paced. It was a very quick shoot. And so I remember the day I got there, I was terrified. I was there's all these teenagers here. I'm really scared. I hope that they like me. I really hope that we can become friends. And then once we started filming, we had already had time in pre-production to kind of bond. And so then after a few weeks, it's probably 2 weeks into filming, is when we really got comfortable and just being ourselves around each other, and getting to share our favorite things, and even just working together, doing something that we all love, was super special in general. And so it was just so much fun.
A lot of people online, when the trailer came out, were saying that this is kind of reminds them kind of The Hangover, waking up not remembering anything. Did you do any kind of did you go back, you're reading the script and I'm sure you're kind of oh, this feels like The Hangover. Was there a lot of talk about that before you started filming?
There definitely was. So when
Yeah.
I read the script, I had never seen The Hangover. And so then
Okay.
it was my parents that were like, this is kind of like The Hangover. And I was like, I've never seen it. So once we filmed in Atlanta. So like one of my first nights there, my mom and I watched it and I was like, wow, this is not just like The Hangover. So it's the Disney version, but I'm
Yeah.
really excited. It's definitely a family version, but I think a lot of adults are also gonna, enjoy watching this too.
Obviously it's scripted and everything, but it felt like there were some moments, not even line wise, it just felt like there were some like reactions and facial expressions and everything where it just kind of seemed like off the cuff. Was there some kind of playing around and improv, like especially like, or was it like not as much as you think? Like, I'm just curious about that.
There definitely was, I think, a lot of improv. And
Okay.
I feel like a lot of people expect there to be like less, but there was a lot, which
Okay.
is one of my favorite things. Like I love getting to add in my own little flair to certain scenes.
Yeah.
And so there was one scene when we're on our way back from Onion Fest and we're riding the bikes,
Mhm.
and most of that was all improv. Like our director, Veronica Rodriguez, she was like, this scene is scripted, but just go for it, have fun, because I want it to sound natural. And I looked at Alex and Emmy and we were like, we got this.
Mhm.
And it was just, I loved doing improv. It's so fun.
And you know what? No, I'm gonna mention it. I didn't want to mention it maybe for spoil. I don't know, but like the music is so good in this movie. Like we talked about before we started. Like, I mean, the movie, the movie starts off with like one of my favorite bands, and I'm not gonna say what the band is. We talked about it before, but like that was so good, and I was so happy. And in the ending, there's a band that I haven't heard that song in a while, and I remember going to see that band live. I can say who it is. It's Carolina Liar. I saw that band in concert, okay, like years ago, and then hearing that, it worked perfectly. So I just want to like shout out to the people that chose the music for the movie. I just want to say it was really well done.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so glad you noticed that because I mean, on set, like we would be talking to our director Veronica, and we wanted music to be like a big part of it. And
Yep.
I'm so into music. Like music is one of my like favorite things in the world, and so I'm just so glad that you noticed it because that's one of my favorite parts about this movie as well.
I mean, it opens up with baby metal. I mean, the movie opens up with baby metal. I'm just saying. So good. And no, and I feel like from an acting perspective, there's some things in this that like that are like not going to be easy. Like you're just throwing this script of like, I don't want to go into detail, but there's like a lot of intense things, right? And there's, I'm sure stunt doubles involved a lot of times, but like the characters go through a lot of this, right? In like a quick amount of time. How do you mentally prepare for that? Knowing that the stakes are so high in this kind of night of figuring out what happened at the slumber party.
Yeah, for sure. Like even just reading the script, I was like, wow, this is a lot, but it's going to be so much fun. And there are a lot of stunts, and we had stunt doubles on set pretty much every day, but I knew that everything was going to be safe, which I mean, we always are so safe with our stunt crew. And so one of my favorite things was, I mean, you see it in the beginning of the movie and in the trailer of me flailing midair. That was just such a great experience. And we actually filmed that outside. I was on like, I was hooked up on a wire on like a crane, and they just kind of like, it was kind of like zip lining, but I wasn't holding on. My back was just hanging from a line, but it was just so much fun. And hopefully there'll be some behind the scenes moments that we get to share with you guys.
100%. And yeah, you all have it banked 100%. There's so many BTS things that are like ready to get posted when they're able to be posted. Let's be honest, right?
Definitely. There's so much. I'll be posting a lot too after the movie comes out. I've got a lot of pictures that I'll be posting on my Instagram. So I'm just excited for people to learn how we made this movie. And I think even whenever I see behind the scenes of like movies that I love and I'm in the industry, I get so geeked out. So hopefully everyone will enjoy it.
And last couple of quick questions before we wrap up. I mean, you know, we mentioned it, you know, July 27th, people on Disney Channel are going to be able to see it next day on Disney Plus. What is that like being part of the Disney family, the Disney Channel family, with such a kind of rich history of amazing kind of TV shows and movies? I'm just curious what that's like for you.
It hasn't really sunk in yet. Like it's mind blowing. Like seeing like Disney Channel posting me like on their socials has been like so weird. This is my first Disney Channel project, and I've always loved Disney Channel. Like my sister had High School Musical bed sheets. We were obsessed with all of those, and it just feels so surreal. And I never thought like this would be happening. So I'm truly just honored to be in this whole family.
Absolutely. And again, July 27th, Disney Channel, next day, Disney Plus. Darby, so great catching up. Thank you so much for coming back on the show to chat about the slumber party.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was great to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you again. And your Instagram account, if they just put Darby Camp, they'll find it, right?
Yeah, it's Darby E Camp, and a lot of people think my name is Darbye, but E stands for my middle name, so it's Darby E Camp. But
because we got to plug because that's where the BTS stuff's gonna be.
For sure, yeah, very soon.
Awesome. Well, this has been Popternative. YouTube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. You're going to be able to catch Darby Camp in the Slumber Party on Disney Channel July 27th, and the next day on Disney Plus. Until next time, this is Darby Camp and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.